Back to part 2 of my anticipated 2020 reads. These are 14 books from new authors to me, not necessarily to you, but to me. At least authors that I haven't read yet, might have heard of, and other ones that are completely brand new to me. Okay? Cool. Got it? Awesome. So without further ado, let's get started. The first book on my list is Jane Anonymous by Lori Faria Stolars, or Faria. Lori Faria Stolars. I'm so sorry. So this book deals with a girl who was kidnapped, and it is more not her kidnapping story, but it is her story after being returned home from that. So it is now her apparently 3 months of writing down everything she remembered from those 7 months. She was locked up in the stark white room, but there seems to be more mystery to it because it says at the end, what if everything you thought you knew, everything you thought you experienced turned out to be a lie? This is gonna have some more mystery vibes to it while still being super cool and interesting as we learn more about Jane and what happened to her. The next anticipated read of 2020 is The Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. So this is more historical fiction because it's just after the Second World War. In a small English village of Chawton, an unusual but like-minded group of people band together to attempt something remarkable. I don't know why I decided to go into the British tone, but that's because we're talking about Jane Austen. So it's 150 years ago, Chawton was the final home of Jane Austen. The house is going up for sale or something, I guess, or it's getting torn down possibly, I'm not sure, but there's a group of disparate individuals who come together to preserve both Jane Austen's home and her legacy. We have a laborer, a young widow, a doctor, a movie star, and among others. People who are so different but brought together by their love of Austen. So can I move into this house? Because I think I would fit in quite well there. The next book is called Loveless by Alice Oseman. Ace representation? Maybe? Maybe? This is about a girl named Georgia who feels loveless. She's 18 and never been in a relationship or even had a crush on a single person in her whole life. Relatable. She thinks she's an anomaly. People call her weird and she feels a little broken, but she still adores romance, weddings, fan fiction, and happily ever afters. She knows she'll find her person one day, right? Georgia might be me. After a disastrous summer, Georgia is now at university, hundreds of miles from home. She is more determined than ever to find love. Her annoying roommate, Rooney, is a bit of a love expert, so perhaps she can help. But maybe Georgia doesn't feel that way about guys or girls or anyone at all. Maybe that's okay. Maybe she can find happiness without falling in love. And maybe Rooney is a little more loveless than she first appears. Possible ace story? I don't know. And I want to read it so bad. Ace rep, ace rep, ace, ace, ace rep. Next up, we've got All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is a fantasy book. It is set in a kingdom where danger lurks beneath the sea. Mermaids seek vengeance with song and magic is a choice. As princess of the island kingdom Visidia, Amora Montara has spent her entire life training to be High Animancer, the master of souls. The rest of the realm can choose their magic, but for Amora, it's never been a choice. To secure her place as heir to the throne, she must prove her mastery of the monarchy's dangerous soul magic. When her demonstration goes awry, Amora is forced to flee. She strikes a deal with Bastion, a mysterious pirate. He'll help her prove she's fit to rule if she'll help him reclaim his stolen magic. I sense shenanigans. I'm excited. This sounds really cool. And the cover looks gorgeous. I just looked at her little author thing, and apparently Adeline Grace studied storytelling as an intern during The Legend of Korra. So this better be good. Next up, we have Don't Read the Comments by Eric Smith. This is the story about Div and Aaron, who are both gamers, and Div is a queen. She's a very well-known streaming gamer who is using this stardom to pay for rent, basically. And Aaron has zero interest in becoming a doctor and spends his time free writing games for a local developer, and he escapes into the same game called Reclaim the Sun. They meet up in this world, but there's like trolls and stuff who I think are going to expose them. It's gonna get shenanigan-y. but it seems like a really good contemporary possible romance. Not sure if they're gonna have romance or if they're going to just be like friends, as they both face this virtual harassment and as it goes on to their actual life. So I am excited for this one. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a nice, good contemporary read. Speaking of contemporary, we're gonna go on to The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. Cal, who is a social media journalist at 17, he shares his life online, but his father is selected for NASA's mission to Mars. And Cal and his family have to relocate from Brooklyn to Houston and are thrust into a media circus. Amidst all this, Cal meets sensitive and mysterious Leon, another Astro kid, and finds himself falling head over heels in love with him. Cute. But there are secrets going on about the program, and Cal must find a way to reveal the truth without hurting the people who have become most important to him. I am excited. I want to read this. I want to read this. I want to read this. Next up, this is going to be a silly adult romantic contemporary, which is really just taken the book world by storm right now, I find. This is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. We've got a sassy, steamy, enemies to lovers romantic comedy. And if you know me, you know I am a sucker for enemies to lovers. This involves a wedding planner who was left at the altar because the best man convinced the groom to ditch her. And now that same bride is a wedding planner, and she does all these high profile things, but who shows up again but the same best man? They have to work together now, and it's gonna be shenanigan-y, and I am excited. I think it's gonna be super cute, and I can't wait. There's gonna be a few of these romances that are happening because a lot of these sound adorable. Another YA contemporary romance is called Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. We have Pepper and Jack. Oh, it's so funny. How adorable. You already know they're gonna go together. We have Pepper, who is swim team captain, chronic overachiever, and all-around perfectionist, the daughter of a massive fast food chain family, and she secretly runs the Big League Burgers massive Twitter account. And then we have Jack, who is a class clown and constant thorn in Pepper's side. When he isn't trying to duck out of his obscenely popular twin's shadow, he works at the family's deli. And then they find that Big League Burger steals his grandma's iconic grilled cheese recipe, and it goes into an all-out Twitter war. But while they are publicly duking it out with snarky memes and retweet battles, they're also falling for each other in real life on an anonymous chat app Jack built. So people ship them from their Twitter wars, and it just seems like it's gonna be cute. Next up, we have Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. I hope I said that right. This is a new fantasy one that feels very Stardusty. Oh, it already says it right here too. Neil Gaiman's Stardust meets a rich landscape of Hindu mythology. So this is the daughter of a star and a mortal. Sheetal is used to keeping secrets, but when a flare of starfire injures her human father, Sheetal needs a full star's help to heal him. A star like her mother who returned to the sky long ago. Sheetal's quest will take her to a celestial court of shining wonders and dark shadows, where she must act as her family's champion in a competition to decide the next ruling house of the heavens, or risk never returning to Earth at all. So I'm intrigued and I want to read it, and beautiful cover. More into the world of fantasy, we've got Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. This one is, I believe, a forbidden lover story, because a bone crier has a sacred duty. They alone can keep the dead from preying on the living, but their power to ferry the spirits of the dead into Goddess Alara's night heavens, or Tyrus's underworld, comes from sacrifice. The gods demand a promise of dedication, and that promise comes at the cost of the bone crier's one true love. Alice, not sure how to pronounce that name, is destined for this boy called Bastian, another Bastian. Bastion's really coming back, ain't it? That's supposed to be her destined love that she has to kill. And then we have another character named Sabine, who's the best friend of Elise. And Sabine has to do whatever it takes to save her, even if it means defying their traditions. So we will see what happens. This one is by an author that I know of. I own 3 of their books. I have not read those books, but this is by Sanja Menon, and she's the one who wrote When Dimple Met Rishi, from Twinkle with Love, and There's Something About Sweetie. Books I have not read yet. I really want to read. I just haven't had the opportunity. And this one is called Of Curses and Kisses. This is a new series called Saint Rosetta's Academy. Oh, it's a contemporary spin on Beauty and the Beast. But it's weird because there is some magic and cursing that happens, but it's still at like this boarding school. So I'm not sure it's urban fantasy or if it's magical realism, or I don't know. Magic contemporary, that's what we're gonna call it. We've got Princess Jaya Rao, and Gray Emerson is the misanthrope. He's the one who is cursed. And apparently Jaya has this rose pendant, ruby pendant that's rose shaped. And she might be the one who will break the curse. Who knows? But it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling now. I did not realize that when I put this on this list. I was already excited about it. And now that I know it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I'm gonna love it even more. The next book is called Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. The tagline here is, I am Renata Convida. I have lived 100 stolen lives, now I live my own. This character, Renata, was kidnapped by the king's justice and brought to the luxurious palace of Andalusia as a robari, the rarest and most feared of the magical Mariah. Don't know. Her ability to steal memories from the royal enemies enabled the king's wrath, a siege that resulted in the deaths of thousands of her own people. And now she is a Whisper, which is a rebel spy working against the crown and helping the remaining Moria escape the kingdom bent on their destruction. So this is going to be a big fantasy, I don't know, adventure craziness. The cover, people, look at that cover. It's gorgeous. So this is another author that I know of. I have not read their other stuff, but this next book is called The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This is what got me here. In the description, Alessandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. 1. Woo the Shadow King. 2. Marry him. 3. Kill him and take his kingdom for yourself. That's all I need to know. I hope she does. I hope she doesn't like fall in love with him. I'm a little worried that she's gonna just fall in love with him and I really just want her to kill him and, you know, take over his cool empire. Can she please do that? That's what I want. People who have the arcs are already like really into it, so I'm excited. I hope it turns out to be really good. Last one. So this one I am so stoked for. It is called Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. And it's basically a gay Grease retelling. I shit you not. So Ollie and Will meet over summer break and he thinks he's found his happily ever after, but once summer's ended, Will has stopped texting Ollie, and Ollie finds himself really sad, and then his family relocates him to a new school across the country where guess who's there? Will, and he's completely different. So Will, is apparently not out, and Ollie is like, you know what, I'm not gonna pine after this guy. We had some summer lovin'. And hopefully by the end, they'll find out that they are in fact the one that they want. Shoo up to wada wada. Woo, 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 honey. I'm so excited for this. When does this come out? March 3rd. Okay, only a few more months. I really want to read this. It's going to be so good. Because it's Grease. I mean, come on. I love Grease. Who doesn't love Grease? It's the word that you heard. Okay? It's got groove, it's got feeling, you know? So there you have it. Those are my 14, odd number, I know, but 14 most anticipated releases from authors that I either do not know or know of but haven't read yet, but all these are new books and new reads for me, and I'm very, very excited to read them. I hope you are as well. Please tell me down in the comments below what books you are most excited for. I need to grow my list, obviously. It's not like I have over 500 on my list of things I want and don't own yet. And it's definitely not like I have over 600 that I haven't read but own. So, What's a few more to that? Cool. So leave those down in the comments below or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter, and I will see you next time, cuties. Bye.